Probability is the estimation of how likely an event is to occur. Typically, when we hear of probability, we think of rolling dice and picking cards, like in the problems of our math tests. But in real life, most of the time you won't be rolling dice or picking cards unless you're a gambler. So what's the point? Why bother learning how to do probability if you're not going to even use it in real life? That's a thing though. You can use probability in real life. The most basic example, one you've probably heard over and over, is weather forecasting. If you take multiple weather records of different years, then make a probability distribution chart for each month by tallying up the total of each weather event, you can make your own weather forecast for the whole year. It's impossible for it to be perfectly correct unless one of your probability outputs is 100%, but it's a good basis to have when making outing plans. But of course, you won't be making weather forecasts your whole life. You have weather forecasters to do that job for you. So what's another way of using probability in real life? Perhaps winning games? Let's say you have a sports team and you want to make sure your chances of winning are high. So you start to keep track of all your members' activities and progress throughout multiple games. Remember, the more trials you do, the more accurate your probability will be. Each trial helps you see the bigger picture. This is why we need to do multiple games. By keeping track of your members' progress and win rates, you can then discard the ones who are incompetent. You can also apply the same method to video games, though usually the video game already does that for you. Another very useful thing probability can be used for is business analytics. You knew this was coming. Doing surveys to understand your audience is very useful for creating products that fit your customers' needs. Let's say I want to make a bakery, and I want to make food that people will want. But I can't survey the entire town. That's too many people. So I'll just survey a portion, then calculate the rates from those, then use those rates as an estimation for the whole population. But how do I do that? I'm so glad you asked. As we all know, to calculate probability, you divide the desired event by all possible events. But what about multiple probabilities? That's where probability distribution charts are here to help. Probability distribution chart is made of 3 items: variable, frequency, probability. Variable is the desired event. Frequency is how many times the desired event happens. Probability is how likely that desired event will happen. Going back to our bakery scenario, let's say our variable values are cake, cupcake, pancake, crepe, touron. Then let's say we surveyed 50 people in the town. Then our frequencies are 10 people said they like cake, 12 people said they like cupcake, 8 people said they like pancake, 11 people said they like crepe, 9 people said they like touron. Now calculate the probability by dividing these desired events by the total amount of possible events. And there you go. There's your probability chart. You can apply the same thing to the previous 2 problems mentioned. You can even make multiple probability charts to see how trends fluctuate over time. Visual aids like the bar chart, aka bar graph, are a lot more appealing to look at when calculating probability, though maybe don't make them too appealing if you can't understand or make them too confusing to look at. And that's all. I hope this video convinced you that probability is a useful tool in real life, and the people who color code their bar graphs with similar colors should be sent to the coroner.